Welcome out to Mando Field, home of the Mocksville Davie American Legion Baseball for this summer. But here for tonight at Mando, it will be your Carolina Disco Turkeys. They'll be taking on the Queen City Corndogs in Game 1 of 2 here at Mando. Tomorrow will be against the Troutman Dogs. Once again here for us tonight, Logan Allen will be bringing you all the action here on YouTube, as the Disco Turkeys are set to get ready for Game 1 of 2 in this Mocksville Summer Classic. This one coming up against the Queen City Corndogs. We can take a quick break here. On the other side of this, we'll get you the starting lineups, and then it'll be the national anthem right before first pitch here at Mando. As we come back here into Mando Field, Game 1 of 2 set between the Carolina Disco Turkeys, and here in Game 1 it's going to be the Queen City Corndogs. Tomorrow night, back here at Mando, that will be against the Troutman Dogs. As we take the starting lineups. Starting with the Queen City Corndogs, it'll be Michael Ragu. He will be playing at second base. Right fielder will be Jay Polite. Batting third and center will be Jacob Grimes. In the cleanup spot, in the hot corner, that'll be Mike Kraft. In left, Luke Keller, followed by the first baseman of Louis Hill. Corndogs batting 10 tonight. In the 7 hole, that'll be Neil Griffin, the extra hitter, followed by the shortstop of Keontae Booker. The DH of Charlie Davis batting 9th. And then rounding things up in 10th will be Griffin Pickhart. On the mound for the Corndogs, that'll be Ron Robinson. As for the Carolina Disco Turkeys, leading things off will be Hudson Morgan in short, Lucas Graham at second. Elijah Palmer will be playing in center field, batting third. Jackson Green batting fourth, playing first base. Over at the hot corner for the Turks will be Gage Miller. White Iwanowski is a DH for the Turkeys tonight. Trey Mancini over in right. Batting 8th will be Dakota Dahl. Batting 9th will be Robbie Smith over in the left. And the EH for the Turkeys, that will be Landon Parker on the mound for the Turkeys, who set for first pitch here in just a few moments here at Mando. That will be Trent Lau. Both sides are getting set here for a great afternoon of baseball. 87 degrees here at Mando Field. Both starters on the mound getting set for first pitch. That's Ron Robinson and Trent Lowe going in a head-to-head pitcher's duel as we get set to start here in the very hitter-friendly ballpark here in Mocksville, North Carolina. Welcome back here in the Mando Field, home for your Carolina Disco Turkeys for 2 nights only. Tonight, the Disco Turkeys are facing the Queen City Corndogs. Tomorrow night, it'll be against the Troutman Dogs. Once again, both games will be here at Mando Field. Pay announcer Ken going over the starting lineups here. Already announced. Apologies there. Welcome back here to Disco Turkeys Baseball as we're set for first pitch. Man on the mound for the Turkeys, that's Trent Lau. Trent Lowe. The hard-throwing lefty set to get things started for batter number 1. That's Michael Rago. Rago playing second base for the Corndogs here tonight. Let's take a look around the starting lineup for the Turkeys. First pitch here touches the bottom half of the zone, 0-1. Smith in left, Palmer in center, Mancini over in right. Infield going Miller, Morgan, Graham, and Green around the infield. Fouled straight back, and just like that, Lowe is ahead in the count, 0-2. Man on deck for the Corndogs, that's going to be Jay Polite. He's playing right field for the Corndogs here. As we have an 0-2 count here against Rago. Upstairs, tried to draw a swing, was able to lay off it on that one. A ball and 2 strikes. Mando Field, a very much hitters friendly ballpark. As we can see here, as the drop swing comes back out to Lau on the mound. Throw over the first, draws Green off the bag. An infield single. We'll put a runner on first, nobody out. Ragu reaches first on the single. That'll bring up Polite, the right fielder. Little half swing ends up resulting in something good for the Corndogs. As I was mentioning, this is a hitters friendly ballpark. Not though in the infield, as the left field line's only 300. A slightly elevated 300, but definitely in nonetheless, as we've seen some monster home runs hit over the left field wall. Coming all the way down to Junior Legion, who the Mocksville Davie American Legion has both junior and senior teams here. Runner goes, popped up in the infield. Tailing toward foul ground. Green will give it chase and let it go. No balls and 2 strikes. If I forget ball, call strike, swing and miss, foul ball. I'll do balls and plays and stuff. You can just leave it right here if you want. As if I forget. Yeah. A very hitters-friendly ballpark here, as I was saying. As the throw-in from Lau just missing the inside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Another chance here. Is that going to stay fair? No, that's going to go foul as Dahl will kill it in foul ground. Another one is half-swinging bunts, if you will. Worked out for Rago just a batter ago. Trying to avoid that here for Polite. A decent crowd here at Mando Field here in Mocksville, North Carolina. A very different home setting, if you will, for the Turkeys. As for the Turkeys, one of the relieving pitchers is here. As a throw from the left, he bounces down in the dirt. Unsure where it went was Dahl as a runner will stay put. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Braden Rogers, a relief pitcher here for the Turkeys. Native here to Davie County. Would play Legion here alongside having a few high school practices. As right at the start of the 2016-2017 season, this was home to Davie County High School baseball. Catches the outside corner, sits him down looking, and that will be strikeout number 1 and out number 1 of tonight. Grimes now to dish, center fielder for the Corndogs. First left-on-left matchup here. Runner on first, that's Ragu after reaching on an infield single. Runner goes. The throw from Dahl is just a tad late on the second base side of the bag. Stolen base from Ragu. This field is well home for Carolina University, where a handful of these players for the Turkeys played college baseball, and some still do. Pop down the third base side, that gets out of play. A ball and a strike. 11 pitches thrown so far on the night from Lau. Down to the third batter of the year for the Corndogs.
How are you, Terry?
Catches the outside corner. I'll go it if you want me to. Catching the outside corner. A ball and 2 strikes, trying to get 2 down in a row. Swing and a miss. That sits them down swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts brings up 2 outs for the 4-hole of Kraft. The cleanup man up here in the first for the Corndogs. Runner in second, that's Ragu after a stolen base just a few batters ago.
Is there any way you can help me with the scoreboard? I don't know if you've got to do that for you. Okay, that's fine. Just check.
Catches the inside corner. No balls and a strike here to the 4-hole of Kraft. Ragu on second, line to left field, has a chance. Smith giving chase, just trailing to his left, and makes the grab for out 3. A quick inning of work here in the first. 4 batters up, no runs come across the board. As we'll head to the home half, it will be Hudson Morgan, Lucas Graham, and Elijah Palmer. Coming back here, bottom of the first, Turkey is trying to find a way to take advantage here of having just about a home field advantage here in this Mocksville Summer Classic here at Mando Field. Turkey so far in the season have a 2-4 record. Their most recent game coming back on June 4th. That was 11-10 loss against the Ulari Wampus Cats, as the Disco Turkeys started their season against those same Cats and ended up winning 10-5 on opening night. They fell a night later to the Marion Hungry Mothers, score 11-4, who we'll see a couple more times this season, winning 13-0 against the Hungry Mothers on Memorial Day on May 26. First pitch called a strike here, 0-1 to Hudson. Morgan. Working from the stretch is Robinson. The 0-1 catches the top half of the zone. Just like that, Morgan's down the count 0-2. On deck will be Graham, Palmer, and Green. As they're set here from the stretch. Firing home out. The 0-2 swing and a miss. Strikeout 1 for the first batter being retired by strikeout. 1 out, nobody on for Lucas Graham. Downstairs in the dirt, a ball and no strikes. Here for Graham. The next game will be right back here at Mando Field, the Mocksville Baseball Classic Series, if you will. That'll be against the Troutman Dogs. Swing and a miss. Fastball upstairs. Was able to draw the swing. As I was mentioning back in the top half of the first, this is a very batter-friendly ballpark. Trying to get some balls in the air and to let them rip. Called a strike, 1-2. From the left side, foul tips that one straight back. Able to stay alive, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The outfield positioning for the Corndogs, Keller in left, Grimes in center, Polite in right. It'll be Kraft, Booker, Ragu, and Hill going around the infield from the left to right side. Pickhart behind the plate, and Ron Robinson on the mound. Robinson firing the 2-2, swing and a miss. Pitch outside, once again draws a swing. 2 up, 2 down by strikeout. We'll bring up Elijah Palmer. Palmer working up from the right side. A decent crowd here at Mando Field. Bleacher seating right behind the home plate and a big wide open hill down the first base side.
You who I was supposed to see.
Catches the outside corner. No balls and a strike. Disco Turkey's looking to take advantage here. Working from the right side, shot. That's going to go dead right in the batter's box. No balls and 2 strikes. Trying to avoid 3 straight strikeouts here in the first, as Ron Robinson's trying to find a quick bottom half of the first, as we have ourselves a pitching duel through 1. The 0-2 outside, as Palmer's trying to work his way back into it. Jackson Green waits on deck. Alongside being home of Carolina University, this is also home of Mocksville Davie American Legion Baseball, who played back-to-back nights here, going Wednesday and Thursday, before Thursday got rained out due to unforeseen weather conditions. Those games are as well here on YouTube. Just search up Mocksville Davie American Legion Baseball, as you'll hear my voice as the voice of Mocksville Davie. Top half of the zone will sit. Palmer down looking. 3 strikeouts in the home half of the first. No runs, no walks, no hits. For 3 strikeouts will end of 1. Top of 2 coming up right after this. Trent Lowe back on the mound for the Turkeys. Coming back here in the Mando field as the Disco Turkeys look to keep this a pitcher's duel going. 0-0 as we head top of the second. The Disco Turkeys so far in the season sit at a 2-4 record. First one of the season coming on opening night against the Ori Wampus Cats. That was a 10-5 victory. Second win was against the Marion Hungry Mothers. That was on Memorial Day of May 26. Since then, they're on a 3-game losing streak, losing 7-4 to the Spinners, 7-3 to the River Turtles, and 11-10 to those Cats. First pitch downstairs, ball 1 from Lowe to Luke Keller, batting 5th of 10 for the Corndogs. The 1-0 here nearly draws a swing, but that catches the inside corner. A called strike will bring it back even, a ball and a strike apiece. Lau working quick, throws a hearty pitch right down the middle of the plate. A ball and 2 strikes. Keller has yet to lift the bat off his shoulders. This 1-2 swing and a miss sits him down swinging. Will be out number 1 here in the top half of the second. There's a low pitch count starting to crawl up to 20 so far here through an inning and a third. From the right side now will be Louis Hill. Once again, the Turkeys and the Corndogs at batting 10 here tonight. First pitch outside, ball 1. Popped up shallow right center. Mancini giving it a chase as it will drop in right center field. A 1-out single from Hill will put a runner on base. The drop, Gage Miller. Neil Griffin out the dish, batting 7th. As that's a first pitch single into left field, just past the ranging Morgan at short. First and second now for the Corndogs here in the second. Those back-to-back singles bring up Keontae Booker. Hill on second, Griffin over on first. Neither one of those singles was hard hit, but both of them result in the same situation here. There's now a runner in scoring position, 1 out for the Corndogs. The shortstop now up to bat for the Corndogs. The Queen City Corndogs, native to Charlotte, North Carolina, making the trip up here to Mocksville. Hit over to Lowe, has one play over the first to Green, able to make redemption to himself from back an inning ago. Able to get 1 out for 2 outs now here in the second. Now it's time for the DH to come up. That's Charlie Davis. Has 2 runners in scoring position, one only 90 feet away. That's Louis Hill at third. Popped up right field, chasing after it, Mancini. Not having to move a muscle. Makes the grab to retire the inning. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, 9 pitches for Trent Lau, and that will bring up the Turkeys Green, Miller, and Iwanowski. Bottom 2 coming up right after this. It's weird how big that place is, and you still run into people that you know.
You know, as long as I've been retired, that's probably about the most I've ever seen in a single day.
Just 2.
You know, even all the times I've gone in Walmart, I've seen maybe 0. I'm lucky.
Do those 2 know each other?
Yeah, those 2 have come out.
Okay.
And tall guys are like, I mean, you always talk about David Harris.
I think so, yeah.
That's his son.
Oh. Coming back here for the Disco Turkeys, playing at Mando Field, a much different home field for the Turkeys. There'll be 2 games played here at Mando. The 1 game here tonight and 1 against the Troutman Dogs tomorrow night at 6:30. The Turkeys on a 3-game losing streak, trying to snap that here tonight. They have 2 wins on the season, as that's a first pitch grounded to Booker. Has an easy flip over the hill. That will retire Jackson Green, who would lead off inning number 2. That bring up Gage Miller, the third baseman for the Turkeys. The Turkeys' most recent win coming back on May 26th. That was a 13-0 shutout over the Marion Hungry Mothers after being blown out 11-4. First pitch swinging down the third base side. That goes foul. No balls and a strike. The Turkeys' 3 losses since 7-4, 7-3, and 11-10. First meeting of the season for these Queen City Corndogs. That's a swing and a miss, 0-2. There'll be 2 more games against the Queen City Corndogs. Now this 0-2's upstairs, ball 1. The next meeting will be on June 29th. That will be at Wake Forest University. If I'm not mistaken, that will be an 11 a.m. game time. With a 1 more game, that will be at Queens University on July 14th. The 1-2 here, down and out, bounces off of the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. One of the differences here between Mando Field and Wake Forest, there's no turf. All dirt and grass here in Rich Park. Here comes the 2-2. Popped up down the first base side. That's going to get has some room, trailing towards the wall. That's going to bounce off the wall. The foul wall, that is, not the outfield wall. Keeps the count alive, 2-2. Ron Robinson remains on the mound. He threw 1 1/3 innings pitch, has 3 strikeouts so far tonight. The 2-2. Swing and a miss to make that 4. Second out here in the second. And that will retire Gage Miller. White Iwanowski now coming up to the dish for the Turkeys. The DH for the Turkeys. Taking the spot of Trent Lau, the starting pitcher for your Turkeys. First pitch offering here, swing and a miss over a changeup, 0-1. No balls and a strike. Iwanowski catches the outside corner. Delayed call from this home plate umpire. And just like that, it's 0-2 here once again. As we're looking for strikeout number 5 from Robinson. Fires home the 0-2 upstairs. Not swinging at that one was Iwanowski. A ball and 2 strikes. On deck, that's going to be Mancini, followed by Dakota Dahl and Robbie Smith. Disco Turkeys wearing the white on white. As this 1-2 is going to be chopped. Going to be a tough play for the shortstop of Booker. Firing it over the first in time to Hill for out number 3. That ground out to short will end the second inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. For the Corndogs, it'll be Pickhart, Ragu, and Polite set to come up to start the top of inning number 3. Coming back here into Mando Field, home for your Carolina Disco Turkeys for 2 nights only. Here against the Queen City Corndogs and tomorrow night against the Troutman Dogs. So far in this one, we're still scoreless here on National Donut Day, and there's been zeros or donuts across the scoreboard thus far. So far, the Turkeys still have yet to get a hit. On the other side, the Corndogs have had 3. First pitch called a strike here from Lau against Pickhart. The 0-1's popped up shallow center field, coming over on its Palmer. Makes a grab as he trails to his left. 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the 3rd. One up, 1 down will bring up top of the lineup. Now up for the Turkeys. Raku's 1 for 1 so far tonight. What? Chopped right back up the middle. Going to be a tough play for the second baseman. Fires it over the first. Gets off the line. An infield single here from Ragu. Puts him 2 for 2 on the night.
too. Right back up in the middle.
Not gonna lie, that scared me. I didn't see him walk behind.
Where do you go?
He was asking about the wireless mic. One on now, one out as a low. Trying to find another quick inning here for the Turkeys. Popped up out of play, no balls and a strike to the 2-hole of Jay Polite. He's 0 for 1 so far tonight. As for Polite, he struck out back in the first inning. So far down in the count 0-1. Upstairs, ball 1. I have a hard throwing lefty for the Turkeys. Starts with an open stance, comes closed for the stretch. We're on first, that's Ragu. He goes. Throw is upstairs, second stolen base of the night from Ragu. That pitch misses outside. Apologies, that catches the heart of the plate. 1-2. Once again, second stolen base from Ragu. "180 feet away here as that catches the outside corner. Dahl didn't think that was strike 3. Regardless, that was called. Just barely catches the outer half of the plate. Called strike 3. Will set him down looking. Now bring up Jacob Grimes. He's 0 for 1. As for Grimes, he struck out back in the first. He left Ragu at second just as we sit now. The left-on-left matchup. Shortstop Morgan holding on the runner. First pitch offering lined over the second base for Graham. Flips it over the green for out number 3, and that's hell. The top of the third will come to a close. No runs on 1 hit, no errors. 8 pitches thrown from Lau. That'll bring up Mancini, Dahl, and Robbie Smith. Going bottom of inning number 3. Welcome back here to Mando Field, the second home for the Turkeys this summer, where all home games are being played at Wake Forest University. But a summer series here at Mando Field gives a chance for the Carolina University natives to show off what they're proud of here at Mando Field. First pitch misses outside, ball 1 from Ron Robinson against Tyler Mancini. So far, 4 strikeouts on the night from Robinson through 2 innings of work. Slider catches the outer half of the plate. A ball and a strike. Mancini batting 7th of 10 for the Turkeys. Still looking to get through the first time through the lineup. 1-1. Slider somehow catches the outer half of the plate. But to get more white chalk than plate. Regardless here, can't argue it. A ball and 2 strikes. From the stretch comes Robinson. Upstairs, watches that one go by. Ball 2. So far in a pitcher's duel here at Mando. Donuts on the scoreboard here on National Donut Day. As Robinson fires, deals, misses downstairs. Full count here against Minisi. I do that every time. Here comes the payoff pitch against Minisi. Fires it. Foul tip straight back. Will do it again. As the count remains 3-2 here against the Queen City Corndogs and here Carolina Disco Turkeys. So far for the Turkeys, they're 1-1 at home. Chopped to short. Booker has a play over to Hill as a throw-in time. It is. Out number 1 comes from Booker to Hill. A 6-3 putout. Still waiting for the first base runner for the Turkeys, if I'm not mistaken. Indeed so. Now is up Dakota Dahl. First pitch right over the heart of the plate. No balls and a strike here against Dahl. Smith on deck, and then it will be Landon Parker. One out here against the 8-hole. No balls and a strike. Foul tip straight back, and just like that, down to count 0-2. As for Robinson, he has 4 strikeouts through 2 1/3. He struck out the side and back in inning number 1. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 5 of the night. And out number 2 here in the 3rd. This brings up Robbie Smith, batting 9th of 10 for the Turkeys. And on deck, that's Landon Parker, trying to find a way to get to the batter's box here in the 3rd. Line right back up the middle. That's going to be a 2-out single from Smith. Right back to where it came from for the first hit of the night for the Turkeys. Puts the runner on base here, 2 outs. We'll bring up the 10-hole of Landon Parker. First home at bat here from Landon Parker. Well, home away from home, if you will. One on first, that's Smith. Reached on the only hit so far for the Turkeys. Big swing and a miss. Pitch outside. Man on deck waiting. That's Hudson Morgan. Struck out back in the first. Followed by the 2 and 3 hole of Graham and Palmer. The 0-1 runner goes Smith. Trying to avoid the tag. In there safely. A 2-out stolen base from Smith. The throw from Picard definitely beat Smith, but the tag was late. Stolen base from Smith. The only base runner for the Turkeys is now in scoring position, 180 feet away. Now down to an 0-2 count here against Parker. Swing and a miss. That sits down the side. 6 strikeouts on the evening from Robinson. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Finds a way to end the threat here in the 3rd inning. Corndogs will have Kraft, Keller, and Hill going top of inning number 4. A pitcher's duel here at Mando. The Hitters Friendly Park has not been able to provide so far. 4 total hits, 3 for the Corndogs, 2 of those being an infield single. Alongside 1 hit for the Turkeys, that was a line shot right back up where it came from. Popped up, heading toward the left side of Palmer. Ranging to his left, makes a grab. 1 pitch, 1 out here from Lau. Brings 1 out here in the 4th. That was a Mike Kraft, the third baseman, for out number 1. That will bring up Luke Keller, who's 0 for 1 so far here tonight.
We're going to see about 2 home runs.
As for Keller, he struck out swinging so far tonight. As for Lau, he struck out 4 tonight as well. Catches the outside corner, 0-1. Trent Lau and Robinson looking good tonight. A pitcher's duel at that. Fouled that one off, and just like that, it's 0-2. As Lau's looking for strikeout number 5 of the night. Swing and a miss. A strikeout here against Keller's, the 5th of the night. And that brings up 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. This will bring up Louis Hill. He singled back in the 2nd, ended up being stranded on 3rd. After the fly out to right from Davis. From the windup, firing at home, low and in. From Lyle, misses. A ball, no strikes. The 1-0. Down and out. 2-0 here from Lau. Bullpen slowly starting to warm up here for the Turkeys. You can just barely see it on the left side of your screen. Down and in once again. 3-0 to count now here against Louis Hill. If I'm not mistaken, there's been no walk so far tonight. Lau trying to prevent one here. The pitch. Right down the heart of the plate. Called a strike there. 3-1. Louis Hill 1 for 1 so far tonight. Singled back in the 2nd. 3-1. Down and in. Ball 4. A 5-pitch walk. I'll bring up Neil Griffin. He's 1 for 1 as well. Those back-to-back singles in the 2nd have a chance to find a way to reach base here in the 4th. So far, flying through this one. Under an hour, and we're already through 3. About 45 minutes of gameplay as we're here in the top of the 4th. Upstairs, ball 1 against Griffin. Swing and a miss. Hardy cut over the fastball, 1-1. The 1-1 here catches the bottom half of the zone. 1-2 now, trying to get a strikeout to end the 4th. Swing and a miss. That sits him down. 6th strikeout of the night from Lau. Well, in the top of the 4th. Donuts all across the scoreboard as it's 0-0 going bottom of the 5th. Welcome back here to Mando Field, home for your Disco Turkeys tonight and tomorrow. Tonight, we're in a deadlock against the Queen City Corndogs, 0-0, as the Turkeys are looking to break their 3-game losing streak. Dating back to May 31st, that was a 7-4 loss against the Spinners. Leading things off here, that will be Hudson Morgan. He's 0 for 1 so far. First pitch, chop, going to be a play for Booker. Throw is just in time as Hill is able to dig that one out of the dirt. 1 up, 1 down here in the home half of inning number 4.
Next up, second baseman number 5, Lucas Graham.
Graham so far struck out back in the first as we had a 3-batter punch out from Robinson. First pitch offering outside, ball 1. Robinson crossing the 40-pitch threshold here in inning number 4. Watches the off-speed down the heart of the plate, ball and a strike. Kraft, Booker, Ragu, and Hill ranging around the infield, going left to right. Keller in left, Grimes in center, Polite in right. The 1-1's chopped down the first base side. Hits the fencing just like that. It's 1-2 here against Robinson. Can you turn me off, please?
I'll just check and see if it matters.
Graham 0-1 so far tonight, trying to change that and find a way to get on base. So far only 1 base runners. That's pop foul down the third base side. Gets out of play as we'll redo the 1-2. The only base knock so far comes off the bat of the 9-hole of Robbie Smith. Had a stolen base to follow suit. The throw from Pickard was just able to beat Smith, but the tag from Booker was just a tad late. 1-2's chopped left field. Keller trailing to his right makes the grab. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the bottom of the 4th.
The sound's just bad.
Now batting, center field number 16, Elijah.
Palmer now up, batting third for the Turkeys. Robinson still working at a very quick pace here. Shot fouled straight back. Either got a piece of the home plate umpire or a Pickard behind the home plate. No balls and a strike.
It just sounds like it's going over the mic, but I think it's because we're getting hot.
The 0-1 after the foul ball. Shot over the head of the second baseman of Rago. That's going to drop in for a 2-out single. That puts Palmer on 2 outs, and that will continue the bottom half of the 4th. This brings up Jackson Green. Answer Green, he grounded out to short to start the second here in his second at bat. As we're here already in the home half of the 4th. Right on left matchup. Turkey's bullpen still working. As for the Corndogs, it's quiet. Fouled straight back, 0-1. Miller and Iwanowski waits on deck for the Turkeys. Palmer on first after a 2-out base knock. The 0-1 runner goes, pitched down in the dirt, gets away from Pickard, and nearly bounces all the way back to the man on the mound of Robinson. Palmer reaches safely on the stolen base. Was nearly able to take another 90 feet as that bounced weirdly off of Pickard behind the plate. A ball and a strike now. Runner on second, 180 feet away from taking home the first run of the night. The 1-1 now just catches the inside corner on the lefty. 1 ball and 2 strikes. trying to find a way to poke one alive and continue the fourth. The 1-2 chop. That's going to go foul. As I just mentioned, Green grounded out to short. The start to second. As for the Turkeys, they've only had 2 base runners. That comes on a single this inning from Palmer and a single last inning from Smith. Chop to second. Racco has 1 play. That's going to be over to Hill. Is it in time? It is. Able to field that one cleanly. And that will end the threat in the home half of the fourth. Top of the 5 going to the top of the 5th. Still knotted up 0 apiece. Whenever you're ready.
Hello and welcome back to Mando Field here in Mocksville, North Carolina. Coming up to the plate is the shortstop Keontae Booker as Trent Lowe begins his 5th inning of work for the Disco Turkeys. Lowe's first pitch is in there on the outside corner, strike 1. Booker so far here tonight is 0 for 1. And 1 pitch is taken in the dirt. That'll take us to a 1-1 count. Corndogs have registered 3 hits so far through this one. That pitch is taken on the outside corner, 1-2. That pitch is driven into right field and it's down for a base hit. Keontae Booker gets the inning started for the Corndogs. And that'll bring up Charlie Davis. We've had a pretty fast-moving game so far here tonight. A lot of first pitch contact and not a lot of deep counts so far. First pitch is driven into center field and that's down for a base hit. Booker makes his way to second as Charlie Davis records his first hit of the game. We'll have a visit to the mound here. I believe we'll have a call to the bullpen.
Should be.
Lowe will be exiting the game, and number 47, Caden Hayes, will be taking over on the mound.
We're gonna see if we can get the top spot.
Here, spoon.
What's your number? Capital T, capital. Yeah, thanks. Capital T, capital A, 2489. Lowercase t, lowercase a.
Steamer.
And you were last year.
Oh, yeah.
We ended up last year. There's no Wi-Fi here until the past summer.
All right, so entering the game to pitch, number 47, Caden Hayes. He's going to inherit runners on first and second. Up now is the catcher, Griffin Pickart. Hayes' first pitch is in there for strike one. On pitch. Runner takes off early. Throw to third is in time and he's out. And throw to second is not in time. Booker took off from second base a little too early, but was picked off at third. But in the process, on the throw, Davis advanced over to second. One down in the inning now. 0-1 pitch is on the outside corner, strike two.
Yeah.
Hayes' pitch is driven out to deep left field. And that ball is foul. Had plenty of distance off the bat of Pickart, but it just snuck over to the left of that foul pole. Hayes sets to deliver the 0-2. It's popped up down the first base line. Green is there and he makes the grab and there's two down. Coming up now for the Corndogs, second baseman Michael Rago. It's 2 for 2 so far in this one, as Hayes looks to get out of trouble here, top of the fifth.
I did, yeah.
His first pitch is outside, ball one. And again, Hayes entered the game with no outs, runners on first and second. If he could get out of here with no damage, that'd be quite the impressive inning, as that ball is driven into right field. And it is caught for the third out of the inning. Caden Hayes able to escape without preventing any damage in the top of the fifth.
Welcome back here in the Mando Field, home for your Carolina Disco Turkeys for game 1 of 2 here in Mocksville, North Carolina. Starting things off in the home half of the 5th for the Turkeys, that would be Gage Miller, 0 for 1 so far, our third baseman for the Turks. Robinson still on the mound for the Corndogs. First pitch misses outside, ball 1. A summer collegiate baseball team for both of these squads. As we take a look around the Super Regionals, Louisville ended up beating Miami 8-1 tonight. North Carolina beat Arizona 18-2. North Carolina is where Harrison Lewis attends, a redshirt freshman who's a starting pitcher here for the Turkeys. And then top of the 5th, Florida State and Oregon State tied in a deadlock at 1. Here for the Turkeys. We're at zeros. Outside, 1 ball and 2 balls and a strike. Miller looking to get his first base knock here at Rich Park. Just catches the outside corner. That sits him down looking. A lot of strikeouts here for Robinson through 4 1/3. 7 strikeouts for Robinson so far. Lau ended his night with 6. Up to 56 pitches so far for Robinson. Coming to the dish is Iwanowski. First pitch swinging, chopped over the Booker. Fielding it to his right, fires a bullet over the hill. Out number 2, 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th. Those 2 up, 2 down will bring up Tyler Manisi, batting 7th of 10 for the Turkeys. Still warm out here in Mocksville, 83 degrees here on the bottom of the 5th. The pitch from the right-hander misses up and out, ball 1. Not one of the things we're used to seeing here from Robinson so far through 4 innings. A first pitch ball. Comes set, it's got a sign from Pickhart. Nwano just catches the inside corner. Count evens, a ball and a strike. Man on deck, if it's able to get there, will be the catcher of Dakota Dahl. Down and in, 2 balls and a strike. For Manisi, who grounded out to short to start the 3rd. If it hasn't been a strikeout, it's probably been a ground out to short, as there's been either, as I was mentioning earlier, 7 strikeouts and about 4 groundouts to Booker. Comes down, 3 balls and a strike to Manisi. Firing homes Robinson, down and out, ball 4. First walk of the night from Robinson, puts a runner on, 2 outs for the Turkeys. I'll bring up Dakota Dahl. He struck out back in the 3rd inning for out number 2. This will be a second at bat of the night. Wearing his shin guards on deck, having to take him off before making his way to the plate. If he happens to reach, it will be Robbie Smith to come up to bat. One of the 2 singles so far for the Turkeys. That single happening back in the 3rd. Line down the right field side. That's going to get out of play. No balls and a strike. So far, the 2 runners to reach base, Palmer and Smith, ended up stealing second. As for Palmer, he was nearly thrown out. The throw from Pickhart beat him, but just able to slide around the tag. The 0-1. Line in the shallow center field. That's going to drop in for a single. After a 2-out walk, puts runners first and second. Here are 2 outs for the Turkeys. 180 feet away from crossing home and scoring the first run of the night, as there's still donuts all around the scoreboard. Smith singling back in the third inning.
Right back up the middle.
Dahl showing off what Smith did back in the third.
Robbie Smith.
Trying to find a way to break this one open as a bullpen for the Corndogs slowly starting to warm up. First pitch up and in, nearly clipped Smith. A ball with no strikes. That's where the Turkeys, their last game, came back on the fourth. 21 runs came across the score in that one. So for tonight, it's been 0. Upstairs, ball 2. Catcher Pickhart will make his way up to the mound and talk things over with Robinson. As we have a break, let's look at the upcoming schedule. Tomorrow night will be back here at Mando Field. That will be against the Troutman Dogs. So there will be a 2-game away series. June 8th will be in Marion against the Hungry Mothers. And on June 12th will be against the Uwharrie Lumpus Cats. The next night on June 13th, it will be the Hickory, North Carolina takeover. That'll be the Wampus Cats and Disco Turkeys. They'll be playing at LP Fran Stadium. That's home of the Hickory Crawdads. Going on one more, June 14th, they'll be back in Marion against those same Hungry Mothers. Disco Turkeys are 1-1 against Hungry Mothers. That comes on back on a one-day rest. Lost 11-4, came back and won 13-0 in Marion. The 2-0 catches the outside part of the plate. Mound visit from Pickhart seemed to work. Has a walk here with 2 outs. And down the count, or was down in the count 2-0 against Smith. Still a pitcher's duel here for the 5th. Rago, second baseman, holding on the runner. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Last chance here to find a way to push across one here in the 5th. As we're down to our last strike of the inning. Trying to calm any nerves here, Smith. The 2-2 from Robinson. Swing and a miss. Sits down the side. That will end the threat in the home half of the 5th. No runs on a hit. 18 pitches from Robinson. For the Corndogs, will be Polite, Grimes, and Kraft. Set to start things off going top of the 6th.
Welcome back to Mando Field as we head into the top of the 6th after the Carolina Disco Turkeys failed to rally for any runs across the plate in the bottom of the 5th. Leading off the top of the 6th will be the right fielder, Jay Polite. Hayes' first pitch of the inning is in there for strike 1. Hayes came on in relief last inning, got out of a no out Runner on first, runner on second, jam. 0-1 pitch. Catches the outside corner for strike 2. The 0-2 pitch is popped up to right field. The play is made. And that'll be the first out of the inning. That'll bring up number 27, Jacob Grimes. Comes into this plate appearance 0 for 2 to start the day. First pitch of the lefty on lefty matchup. Catches the outside corner, strike 1. The 0-1 taken up. Runs this count even. Hayes' 11th pitch of the day. It's taken for ball 2. Gonna run this one to a 2-1 count as the third baseman Mike Kraft lurks on deck. The 2-1. In there, strike 2. Two is just misses. That'll run the count full. We haven't seen a lot of those here tonight so far. It's been a lot of early outs. Three-two pitch. Swung on and drove it into center, right center field. It went off the glove of the second baseman who almost made the play. Went off the tip of his glove. Graham just out of his reach. That'll put Grimes on first, which will bring up the third baseman, Mike Kraft. One on, one out. First pitch taken outside, ball 1. Timeout called by the batter there. One 0 is driven into left field. Diving play can't be made. And I believe that's going to go down as a base hit for Mike Kraft. Smith tried to make a play on it out there in left field, but just couldn't come up with it. That'll bring up Luke Keller. And Caden Hayes is back in the situation that he was in the last inning whenever he entered in. Runners on first and second, got to escape the jam. Keller takes it outside for ball 1. Hayes delivers the 1-0, fouled off. Of course, this game is a part of the Mocksville Summer Ball Series, which will feature games here tonight and then one again tomorrow night.
You got like a pen or Sharpie?
1-1 pitch. Inside corner, strike 2. Grimes on second, Kraft on first. Hayes looking to put Keller away. The 1-2 popped up into the second baseman's glove. Graham makes the play, and that puts 2 away. That'll bring up the first baseman, Louis Hill. Base hit so far in this one. First pitch of the at-bat. Outside corner, strike 1. Seen that a lot here from Hayes so far. He really likes to work away from the batter. He's done a great job catching the inside corners. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Two on, 2 out here in the top of the 6th. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on and driven to deep left field, and that one is out of here. Louis Hill puts the Corndogs on the board. The 0-2 pitch caught too much plate. There's one thing I've learned from watching Louis Hill so far early on: you cannot make mistakes when he's at the plate. Of course, the dimensions of this ballpark are pretty interesting, because down the left field line is 300 feet, dead center is 342, and down the right field line is 335. So there's a little bit of a short porch over there on that left field side. First pitch is in there on the outside corner. Neil Griffin is up at the plate as he pops one back. That'll run the count to 0-2. Hayes will deliver the 0-2 pitch. In there, outside corner, caught him looking, strike 3. That'll retire the side as the Corndogs get on the board and take the lead 3-0.
Welcome back here, home half of the sixth inning. Turkeys trail 3 after a 3-run home run from Luis Hill. Now coming back in the Morgan and Graham. First pitch in there, called a strike from Robinson. Already down the count 0-1. Outside evens it. As for the Corndogs, they have 3 runs on 7 hits and an error to count. As for the Turkeys, no runs, 2 hits with 2 errors. Chop down the third base side, just topped the half. Just got on the top half of the baseball, that is. Fouls that one off, already down the count 1-2 here from Robinson. 1 walk. The 1-2 pop to right field side. Polite, not having to move a muscle, makes a grab, 1 out. The pop up. Chop down to third base side. Kraft able to field it cleanly, fires it over the hill in time, and just like that, 2 up, 2 down. Home half of inning number 6. The Turkey's not able to do anything much offensively. They've had 1 or 2 base runners just about every other inning, but have not had anything consistently, as you can see with the 2 hits so far tonight. As I mentioned earlier in the last inning, 21 total runs scored in the last game. That was against just foul as that hit in the foul territory right at the third base bag from Lucas Graham. Batting average against Robinson is a 150. That accounts for the 2 base hits thus far. 21 total runs. That was in the last game. Against the Wampuscats in Uwharrie. So far tonight, the Turkey's not able to score 1 as that catches the outside corner. Down the count 1-2. That 3-run bomb in the top half cleared the fence in the left by a matter of a couple of feet. Now, as I was mentioning earlier, this is a very much hitters-friendly ballpark. Upstairs evens it, 2s across the board. Regardless, the home runs count for the same as it's 3-0 in the home half. The 2-2 popped up, shallow right field, Polite coming in on it, ranging to his right, makes a diving attempt. Was he able to grab it? He was not. He may have got a piece of it, but couldn't corral it. A 2-out base knock from Graham pushes the line across for the 3-hole Palmer. Great a chance there from Polite for a 1-2-3 inning, but not able to corral it. Leads for a base runner for the Turkeys. And here comes Palmer. 1 for 2 so far on the night. First pitch misses the heart of the plate. 1 ball, no strikes, as he singled on a fly ball to right field. Back in his second at bat. Left on right matchup. Popped up, shallow right center field. Grimes and Polite chasing after it. Grimes able to make his grab right in the right center field corner. Once again, no runs. 1 hit, no errors, as we head to the top half of inning number 7.
Welcome to the top of the 7th. Leading off for the Corndogs, the shortstop, Keontae Booker. Number 47, Caden Hayes, will return to the mound for his 3rd inning of work after giving up a 3-run home run in the last inning to Louis Hill. First pitch is in there, strike 1. Hayes has done a pretty good job so far at putting the ball in the strike zone and throwing strikes, as that one is a line drive right to Morgan at shortstop, and the grab is made. They'll bring up 1 down. To finish what I was saying about Hayes earlier, he's been throwing strikes. It's just that unfortunately on that 0-2 pitch, it cost him. 1 down here, and that'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Charlie Davis. 1 for 2 so far, and he pops one off down the third baseline, foul. It's been an eventful game for the Disco Turkeys so far. Through 6 innings, they've only registered 3 hits. They've committed 2 errors. 0-1 is taken low and away. Evens up the count. Davis swung on and missed. 1-2. Queen City Corndogs so far, 7 hits on the day. They're staked out to a 3-0 lead here in the top of the 7th. 1 down, 1-2 count. We've got a time at the plate. One, 2. Taken in the dirt, leaving us up at 2-2. Ball appeared to be a breaking ball of some form that bounced in the dirt before it got to the plate. The 2-2. Taken just off the outside corner, and this count's going to run full. 3-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Hayes caught Davis out in front, records the strikeout, and there's 2 down here in the inning. That'll bring up the catcher, Griffin Pickard. Who is 0 for 2 so far on the day. Fouled off. Hayes looking to get this inning over, to get the Disco Turkeys up to bat in the bottom of the 7th and see if they can get a little something going to try and chip off this lead. The 0-1. Taken at the knees for strike 2. Two strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. The 0-2. Swung on and drilled to left field, and that's going to go foul. We'll reset and try it again. Taken just off the plate. Moves the count to 1-2. Here's his pitch. Taken outside. Evens up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. The 2-2 is grounded and chopped over to third base with a nice play off the hop, and it is made, and that will retire the side. Miller handled the ground ball at third, made the throw, and recorded the out. As that'll send us to the bottom of the 7th. The Disco Turkeys will try and get a little bit going, get some chip off this lead.
Let me know if that's better whenever we start. Test, test. Coming back here, bottom half of the 7th. Turkeys trail by 3 after a 3-run bomb. Back in the top of the 5th. 6th, that is. Apologies. Set to lead things off will be the 4, 5, 6 holes of Green, Miller, and Iwanowski. First pitch catches the outside corner, 0-1. And on the mound, I believe, still continues to be of Robinson. There's a 1-0 slider, just misses upstairs. Count evens, 1-1. Starting to come under the lights here at Mando Field. Game's 1 of 2 here in Rich Park. Foul tip straight back caught by Pickhart. As Robinson finds himself ahead in the count, 1-2. Catches the inside corner, sits him down looking as Robinson gets another strikeout. As for Robinson, that's his 9th strikeout of the night through 6 1/3. There's been 8 strikeouts for the Turkeys, but they have given up 3. Misses the outside corner, ball 1. Now batting, that's Gage Miller, the third baseman. So far tonight, he's 0-2. Line shot right center field. That's going to drop down for at least 1. Chasing for 2, going to make a big turn. A 1-out single from Gage Miller will bring up the DH of Wyatt Iwanowski. It looked like Miller's wanting to turn on that one and drill it into left field instead of hitting it just a tad late, but ended up resulting in something that worked for him. We'll have a pitching change here in the middle of the home half of the 7th. Can take a quick timeout and we'll get you his name and number right after this quick break. Wyatt Tucker replaces Robinson on the mound. And here comes a chance for Wyatt and Wanowski trying to get something going here in the home half of the 7th. First pitch called a strike from Tucker. Miller sits on first after a one-out single into the right center field gap. I was just able to be stopped up by Grimes to prevent extra bases. Big lead runner had a jump. Pitcher never stepped off back of the mound. And Miller ended up stopping halfway down the baseline. And just like that, down the count 0-2. Here for Wyatt Iwanowski. Pickoff move over the first keeps Miller honest. Hill fires it back in the Tucker. Once again, down in the count 0-2 here, bottom of the 7th. Line left field, that's going to go foul. Would have been short, but would have hopefully at least advanced Miller going first to third. It looks like there might be rain headed in our direction. Currently 83 degrees here at Mando Field. Runner takes off for second. Pitch upstairs, and Pickhart will just let him have it. Stolen base from Miller. 1 ball and 2 strikes. As for the Turkeys, they have the 6, 7, 8 coming up. Iwanowski, the DH, batting 6. Manisi, 7th. Dakota Dahl in the 8 spot. Runner takes off for third. Has a chance as Miller was rounded third after it got away from Pickhart. And we have ourselves a 2-2 count. Now runner on third. Turkeys have a grade A chance to score here in the bottom of the 7th. Over in right field, there's a retired jersey of Brian Oakley. That was a previous player for the Disco Turkeys who were unfortunately passed away just a few weeks ago. Player for Carolina University, and once again, one of your Carolina Disco Turkeys in the past 2 previous summers. His number is retired up in the right center field wall. Nearly stole home was Miller. Foul tip straight back. Count remains full. Iwanowski so far 0 for 2 on the night. Grounded out to short twice. From the stretch. The 1-out payoff pitch. Chopped down the third base side into the Disco Turkey dugout. And we'll do it all again. Tucker up to 7 pitches thrown so far here in the 7th. His work of the 7th, that is. As for Robinson, he finished just shy of 90. As a payoff pitch, low and out, gets away. Runner of Miller will stay at third. First and third, now 1 out. For Manisi. He's 0 for 1 so far. Looks like the coach is going to come out for the Corndogs here once again in the 7th. First and third for the Turkeys. Create a chance to score and bring it home to within 2. We'll take a quick break after this, as you've been watching Disco Turkey Network here in the home half of inning number 7. Coming back here, bottom half of the 7th. Wyatt Tucker remains on the mound as Manisi steps into the dish, has a chance to do some damage here in the home half of the 7th and bring home the first Disco Turkey run of the night. First pitch swinging, chop down the third base side. That goes foul. Manisi back into the box, trying to find a way to push home one. Watches that one go by in the outer half of the plate. Count evens a ball and a strike. Runner goes. Throws into second. Shortstop not able to field it cleanly. But Miller watches it from third and will not advance. Called a ball. As Manisi is up in the count now, 2-1 after a stolen base from Iwanowski. As we were saying about upcoming weather, there's a chance now for a thunderstorm or two to roll in here to Mando Field. That catches the outside corner and will sit down. Manisi. 2 outs now. Runners on second and third. One of the best chances to poke home at least one comes up for Dakota Dahl. Not trying to call anything here, but a righty on righty short left field wall has a chance to tie this with one swing of the bat. Did he go? Yes, he did, says the infield umpire. Called us right there, 0-1. Tucker, this will be his 15th pitch of the inning. Comes set, here's the 0-1. Chop down the third base side. That's just going to be smacked by Kraft. Fires it over the hill. That will sit down the side. Good play there by Kraft, ranging out to his left. Able to fire a bullet over the hill. And that's how the inning comes to a close. No runs on 1 hit, no errors. 21 total pitches thrown from the Corndog side. As for them, they'll have Ragu, Polite, and Crime set to come up. Top of the 8th.
Heading into the top of the 8th, Caden Hayes will return to the mound for his 4th inning of work. And coming up to the plate, second baseman Michael Rago. First pitch taken for a ball. 1-0. Catches the inside corner, strike one. Back-to-back innings In the bottom of those innings, the Disco Turkeys have got players on base and haven't been able to do anything with it, as that is swung on and missed, and that takes us to a 1-2 count. One, two's taken high, evens up the count. 2-2 pitch in the dirt. Run the count full. Hayes 3-2 pitch. Taken high, ball 4. Leadoff runner will get on, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Jay Polite. One of the ongoing unwritten rules in baseball is don't walk the leadoff hitter. A lot of times it comes back to bite. We'll see if it does here as Rago takes off from first and is driven down the line. Little hit and run. Rago didn't realize that it was off the bat. Wasn't paying any attention, and as opposed to getting into score, he's going to have to be held up at third as Polite records the double. Rago, I believe, had he realized that the ball was hitting down the left field line, would have easily scored on that play. Nonetheless, that will bring up Jacob Grimes. Runners on second and third, no outs. For the Queen City Corndogs, who have been staked out to a 3-0 lead here in the top of the 8th. That's taken inside for ball 1. Hayes 1-0. It's taken outside. 2-0 count. It's where things start to get a little uncomfortable. Runners on second and third. Behind in the count, as that one is popped up. Palmer eases under it, makes the catch. There will be no tag from third. And for the time being, Hayes has escaped damage. With one out, that will now bring up the third baseman, Mike Kraft. First pitch he sees is taken on the outside corner for strike 1. The 0-1 pitch is slapped over to second base, bobbles it, gets to throw there in time, and the runner from third will score. Runner on second advanced over to third, and that's going to give the Corndogs a 4-0 lead. That'll bring up Luke Keller. Runner on third, 2 down in the inning. Hayes looking to avoid any further damage. His first pitch is taken high for ball 1. And that is driven into center field, and that's going to get through for a base hit. And Keller is going to extend this Corndog lead to 5-0. That's now going to bring up Louis Hill, who recorded that 3-run homer back in the 6th inning. They just cleared that short porch over there in left field. And with the potential weather looming, the Corndogs have to feel pretty good about where they're at right now. First pitch of the at-bat. Nope. We're going to have a pickoff attempt. Keller made it back standing. Runner takes off from first, and that one's driven out to right field, and that's going to get down. Keller's going to make his way to third as Hill strikes yet again with another base hit to put runners on the corners with 2 outs. Here in the top of the 8th. We'll bring up Neil Griffin. We've got a conversation on the mound. I don't believe we're going to have a change. I think we're just going to have a conversation. Not going to make a pitching change. Hayes is going to stay on the mound and try and put this 8th inning to bed. First pitch is popped up. Left field settles under it, and the catch is made. And that's now going to send us into the bottom of the 8th. With all this potential weather looming, the Disco Turkeys will look to create a little thunder of their own.
Coming back here into Mando Field, the Turkeys are looking to get something crawling here in the 8th. A 2-run top half puts the Turkeys behind by 5. Set to lead things off is Robbie Smith. He's 1 for 2, had the first hit of the night for the Turkeys, all the way down in the 9 hole. They put one right back to where it came from, into center field. Currently down in the count, currently ahead in the count, that is 1-0. Man on the mound continues to be a Wyatt Tucker. Off-speed pitch finds the bottom half of the zone. Ball and a strike. Smith working from the windup. Firing at home goes back behind the back of Smith. One of the wildest pitches we've seen from any of the pitchers so far tonight. As for the Corndogs, they have 5 runs, 10 hits on an error. As for the Turkeys, they have yet to score on 4 hits and 2 errors. Breaking pitch just misses the inside corner. Had him set up after throwing behind him. Tried to get a breaking ball to cut back over the heart of the plate. It had fooled Smith, but just could not catch that inside corner. The 2-1 finds the heart of the plate. Once again, another off-speed pitch. 3-2. Payoff pitch coming to the leadoff man here in the 8th. The payoff. Chop foul, will do it again. Man on deck, that's the 10-hole of Landon Parker. As for Parker, he's over 2. He struck out and flew out to right. As you can see here on screen, shows it's partly sunny with a chance of thunderstorms, and indeed so, as that's chopped. Third base, 1 hopper over the craft. A long throw is offline. A infield single by Robbie Smith improves his night to 2 for 3 on the day. A leadoff single here in the 8th will bring up the 10-hole of Parker. Parker is 0 for 2, as I just mentioned, trying to find a way to change that here. Needing to push home at least 1 here in the 8th. Our next Disco Turkey game will be right back here at Mando tomorrow night against the Troutman Dogs. Tune back here on YouTube at 6:30. 4, 6, 3 double play. 2 up, 2 down here in the 8th. Rago to Booker to Hill. Puts 2 outs here in the 8th. Had a leadoff single, but couldn't do anything with it. Bases are empty now. 2 outs for leadoff man of Hudson Morgan. First pitch downstairs, ball 1. I have 6 hits for the Turkeys and 12 for the Corndogs. 1-0, outside ball 2. 10 pitches on the inning so far from Tucker. 25 total from his outing. Morgan's 0 for 3 on the night. Add an account here, 2-0. Inside, nearly clips him on the hip. Pitch has got to be perfect. Wind blowing in from right center field, as we can see rain off in the distance. Corndogs leading at 5-0. The 3-0 had a green light, chopped to third. Going to be another tough play from Kraft, ranging back in time over the hill. Makes redemption for his first effort, able to fire that one and retire Morgan. A 3-up, 3-down inning, if you will head us to the top of the 9th. Still 5-0 in favor of the Corndogs.
All right, as we head into the top of the ninth, new pitcher in now for the Disco Turkeys. Number 4, the side-arming right-hander, Jacob Gilming. Leading off for the Corndogs, Keontae Booker. Gilming's first pitch. Taken inside, almost got Booker. Booker will go ahead and count 1-0. The 1-0 is popped sky high down the third base line. It's going to go way foul. 1-1. The 1-1. Taken outside. We've got some showers in the vicinity. But hopefully the game will move at a pace that we can avoid it. But that's yet to be seen. 2-1 count now to Booker. Is driven sharply into left field for a base hit. And Booker gets the Corndogs started in the top of the ninth with a base hit. That's going to bring up Charlie Davis. Davis so far is 1 for 3, hitting 9th in the order. The Disco Turkeys could really use a 0 here in the top of the ninth. It's in there for a strike. Send this game into the bottom of the 5th and see whatever they can do in the bottom of the inning. Which is taken high for ball 1. Booker on first base. Swung on and missed by Davis. Gilming with a chance to record his first out of the day's ball game. Runner takes off from first. There will be no throw, and Booker will slide in safely. Booker got a really good jump, and even if he makes the throw, I don't think they had a chance to get Booker at second. 2-2 count. Popped up into right field. Catch is made. Booker does not tag from second base. Throw comes into short. Puts 1 down in the inning. That'll bring up the catcher, Griffin Pickart. 0 for 3 so far in this game. Yeah, I believe I just seen lightning in right field. The umpire kind of gave a look around, and he did not make a call. Again, that lightning kind of came from the sky up in right field. So that pitch is taken for a ball. Again, it's the umpire's discretion whether to keep going, and there is a crack of thunder just now as Booker takes off for third base as that pitch is grounded to the second baseman. Throw is made in time, and there's 2 down. That's going to bring up second baseman Michael Rago. going to be interesting to see as the time moves on in this game how the umpires are going to handle the impending weather. I have a feeling with this game 2 outs in the top of the ninth, they're going to try and get as far as they can in it. But we'll see how that stands as the first pitch is taken on the inside corner for strike one. As you might have noticed, Skillaming has a very interesting sidearm delivery. Imagine would be tough for right-hand hitters. Looks like a little bit of a crossbody throw as that's lifted out to left field, and that is recorded with the out. And that will end the top of the ninth, and as we'll head into the bottom of the ninth, Turkeys trailing by 5.
Coming back here, bottom half of the ninth, last chance for the Turkeys to have any hope of finding a way to come out victorious. They trail 5-0. A 3-run jack in the 6th, followed by a 2-run shot, followed by 2 runs in the 8th, that is. Gives the Corndogs that 5-0 lead. Lucas Graham set to start things off for the Turkeys, the lefty on a right-hand matchup. First pitch catches the outside corner, 0-1. His home plate umpire opening up his strike zone here. Had Lightning down in right field back in the top half of the inning. Took a weird look at it, but we will play on. The 0-1's outside. Count evens, 1-1. So far, still no rain or any sign of drops here at the park, but you know they are coming. Late call from the home plate umpire calls a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes here against Lucas Graham. He's a 1 for 3 on the night, trying to find a way to get something going here in the home half of the ninth. Man on deck's the 3-hole Palmer. 1-2 line, gonna be a play, not able to field it clean. He's the second baseman of Rago. Reaches on the air to the second baseman, puts a runner on first. Nobody out for Palmer. Near the same situation happened just an inning ago. Had a leadoff base runner end up being involved in a double play. Here comes Palmer now. He's 1 for 3 as well. He was a part of the 3 straight strikeouts in the top half of the first. This first pitch offering swung and a miss at a pitch upstairs. 0-1. More Lightning in right field, but we play on. Graham over at first will stay put. The 0-1's pop down the first base side, gets out of play. 0-2. Kraft, Booker, Rago, Hill going left to right around the infield. Keller, Grimes, Polite, and center. Under the lights here at Mando. Runner goes, took a delayed steal. Throw is in time. Called out. Strike him out, throw him out, double play. Disco Turkeys all thought he was safe, but from here you could tell that the throw beat him. Couldn't really make out the exact tag where it was. But the infield umpire called him out and you can't complain. Down to the last out now for Jackson Green, the first baseman. Trying to continue the ninth. First pitch. Watches it down and in, ball one. One last chance here for the Turks. Trying to put a show on here for the crowd. Off-speed pitch catches the heart of the plate. 1-1. The 1-1 count, chopped right back up the middle. Going to be a play for the shortstop. Booker on the right field side of second base. Fires it over the hill, and that will do it. Booker grounds out the hill to finish it. Turkeys will fall in this one. Final score of 5-0, but able to beat the thunderstorm that's looming coming in from right field. We'll be back here at Mando Field tomorrow night, trying to find a way to break this 4-game losing streak. That'll be against the Troutman Dogs. Once again, final score in this one, 5-0 in favor of the Corndogs.